Hi, Kristel here from the Dally Diaries. Great to have you here. If you haven't been here before, this is a channel where we talk about all things makeup, beauty. We just have fun with it, and also I ramble a bit about what's going on in my life and just other random assorted stuff. So today we will be doing a get ready with me, and I do actually have I have some pretty big stuff that's happening in my life right now, so I'll probably chat with you a little about that. But I think predominantly we're going to be using the Cosmic Brushes Serenity palette today, this absolute stunner. And I'm going to whip out some of my amazingly spectacular TERRA Moons shadows as well. So I think that's what we're going to do. If that sounds good to you, then stick around and let's get into it. So I've got sunscreen on already, and I am wearing my MCO Beauty Skin Perfect Pore Minimizer because I do get a bit of an oily tea and I do like a dewy finish. So let me zoom you in a tad. We're all about being up close and personal here. So yeah, my skin's not great right now. This is always the area where I get little breakouts, and that's apparently the chin is the hormonal area. So that makes complete sense, seeing as I have endometriosis and my hormones are completely mental. Okay. My cavoodle has just pulled a towel in here that he is currently attacking and will probably tear to shreds. So that should keep him entertained. Right now I'm going to go in with my Flower Beauty concealer. It's the Light Illusion concealer in the shade Light. And I have been really enjoying this concealer. I used to use my Cassas Revealer concealer consistently and love that concealer. I still do, but it's so expensive. And this one's so much cheaper. So I'm just taking a Real Technique sponge just to press that into my skin. Billy also has a cone back on his head. Honestly, the saga of Billy, it's been ridiculous. He basically lives in that cone now, which is not ideal for either of us. But yeah, I had to go back to the vet for the third time since he got desexed and had his dew claws removed, which was the vet recommended. Because that poor towel, what did it do to you? Yeah, but I think he's got allergies to the actual stuff they use to stitch him back up after the surgery, which is not great. He definitely takes after his mum, because every time I have any kind of surgery, which is very often, I have complications. Something always is a little more complicated. So, you know, it's nice to see that he's really part of the family. Okay, so just patting that in. I do enjoy that concealer. I do want to try the other concealer. Oh, I think there might be a couple actually, but at least one of the other concealers in the Flower Beauty range, just to see how I like them, because yeah, I think this one's really good. And everyone knows I love the Flower Beauty lipsticks as well. And they're so cheap. The colours are gorgeous. And they wear well. Okay. So you can still see the blemish on my chin. So it's not like, I wouldn't say it was high coverage concealer, but I don't normally need high coverage concealer. I do actually have a MAC full coverage concealer somewhere around this place, but honestly just can't be bothered. And I just don't care that much if you can see that I have a pimple, because I'm a human and humans get pimples. If I cared, I would hunt down my full coverage concealer. All right, that's pretty good though. Anyway, let's shift on. Now I think I'm gonna use something I haven't used in a while, and that is, because I honestly can't remember how it looks. This is my Nude by Nature Moisture Infusion Foundation. And Nude by Nature is a beautiful, clean makeup and skincare brand that we have here in Australia. I don't really remember if I prefer applying this with a foundation sponge or brush. So I think I might just go in with a damp sponge to kick it off, and we'll see how we go. So it just has a little pump. All right, so I did say I had some stuff happening right now in my life, which is absolutely true. This is why I normally put accessories in after my makeup. Yeah, so I am currently on a 2-week break from my boyfriend of 5 years, which is very weird. It feels very weird. But things have been a challenge for us from the very beginning because he has quite a traumatic background as far as his ex-partner. And this is a bit of a trigger warning, but yeah, she is no longer with us on this beautiful planet. Unfortunately, she chose not to be here anymore, and that has impacted my partner, obviously, massively in ways that will always impact him. And from the get-go, I have tried to encourage him to express his feelings and to talk about his past and her, and I'm not threatened at all by that. I think it's healthy to talk about your trauma and, you know, to share stories. I'm just not threatened by anyone's former partners or what they've done in their life before they've been with me, because everyone has a past, right? It doesn't bother me. I'm not bothered by it whatsoever. But yeah, I was the first person to be with my partner after his ex, and it was 2 years later that we met. And so from the start, things were very, very different to a normal relationship, very complicated. And it kind of worked in a way that I'm very patient, and also I'm a bit of a commitment phobe. So maybe, you know, I was the perfect person to be with my partner because I allowed him the time and the flexibility that he needed and the space to adjust to being in a relationship. And we've had some incredible times, and he's such a good person. He really is such a good person. And we laugh so much together. We have so much in common. We have so much care and respect for each other. But he still hasn't dealt with a lot of the issues. And because of that, he's very guarded emotionally. And I understand why that is, but it makes it really difficult for us to move forward, and things are a little bit kind of at a, I guess, an impasse at the moment. Okay, cool. I like how that looks. That looks really nice. Yeah, lovely. I'm gonna go in under my eye with my Banana Translucent Loose Finishing Powder from the same brand, Nude by Nature. Yeah, so we kind of have decided to take a break so that we can get some clarity around how we want to move forward, or if we want to move forward together. And it's really difficult because there is so much that's good about this relationship. Really, he's actually the best boyfriend I've ever had. I have picked some real doozies in the past. And I would be absolutely devastated to lose him from my life. And he's the first person I've ever dated that I actually want to be friends with if we are not together as a couple anymore, because I just care about him so much. And yeah, he's a great person. So that is where we're at. We're just over halfway through. We set ourselves 2 weeks, and it's all very confusing and complicated. And it's weird because I'll go to text him, or I'll see something on Instagram like, shoot that through to him. But we're not doing that. We're having no contact for 2 weeks. So it's weird and awkward. And I don't know how this is going to pan out. But I'm grateful for all of the memories that we've made so far. And yeah, so that's that. And for powder, I'm going to be using my MCO Beauty Invisible Matte Translucent Powder, and I'm really impressed by this powder. Really impressed by this powder. MCO Beauty they have a lot of really good products that I think are very worth the price tag, and they're not expensive at all. They're a really good kind of budget beauty range. They're not the cheapest of the cheap, but they're certainly reasonable. Yeah, and I will say another trigger warning here. Sorry guys. We will get to some fun chat later, but I also told my partner that he needs to think about whether or not he really wants kids, because it would be very difficult for me to have kids. I would have to have IVF treatment, and even then it's a very, very low chance that I could have kids. Now, if I really wanted kids, I would definitely consider adoption or even maybe fostering at some point in my life, but I'm not there at the moment. And to be honest, I've never known if I want to have kids or not. Maybe because somewhere inside I kind of knew it would be hard for me. I don't know. I'm not sure. Now I am taking my Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Sun-Kissed Glow Bronzer in medium. I love this bronzer. It's so good. And just taking a big fat Bobbi Brown bronzer brush, which unfortunately molts in the pan and it looks absolutely festy. I'm super tempted to pick up the new Lovegasm palette from Charlotte Tilbury. If you've got it, I'd love to know your thoughts. I know that the original formulation, the bronzer, had a lot of slack. A lot of people didn't like it. So yeah, I'm curious. Yes, so yeah, I need him to think very seriously about whether he definitely wants kids, and if he does, we may not be able to be together, especially if he wants biological children. God, this is such deep stuff, isn't it? But I want him to be happy, so I'm certainly not going to deny him of something that he desperately wants. And however my life pans out, whether I end up adopting or fostering or not having kids at all, you know, I'm just trying to be okay with that. And I will definitely just travel until I die if I don't have kids. That's my plan, because traveling makes me really happy. Okay, just putting a little of that on my neck as well. I love how that bronzer looks. It's really nice. I'm going to take that one traveling with me when I go away in August. Now, I like to put my moles back in. They get covered up a bit when I put the foundation on. You can still see them, but I just like to really whack them back in there. I feel weird if I have a completely blank canvas. So this is literally, I don't even remember what brand it is. It was some super, super, super cheap thing that I buy from the chemist for, like, I don't know, $6 maybe. And it lasts me for years, obviously, because I'm using it for a very tiny amount of makeup. And it's also a brow. Oh, I wonder if I should try it. Actually, I'm gonna try it in my brows. I couldn't do that before because I was lighter, but now I'm darker. Oh, that's intense. Oh, that's really intense. It's good though because it has some warmth to it, and my hair definitely has warmth to it. Oh, this is hardcore. Look at us trying new things. It's funny because as much as I feel a little confused and unclear about the future, I almost have a sense of peace about it at the moment. That is so dark. Eek. And I certainly haven't really had that in the past. I really need to pluck my eyebrows too, just ignore that. Please. Need to dye my hair, need to pluck my eyebrows. You know the problem with having darker hair? I love having dark hair. I've always loved having dark hair. But I have a few little white old lady hairs that sneak in on the sides and like up here, mostly at the temples and the sides. And so having darker hair, they're so conspicuous. I have to do my roots every bloody 2 weeks, basically. Oh, this is so intense. Okay, I Probably won't use this again for my eyebrows. It's a little bit too much. I look like Groucho Marx. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's not panic. Don't panic just yet, okay? The good news is I don't really have to go anywhere special, just the chemist. Just gonna get a script filled. So it doesn't matter if I look a bit cray cray. All right, I'm gonna do some damage control because that's really intense. So I'm gonna go over that with my, you right, Bills? How did you get my makeup sponge? Sorry about that interruption. I just rescued this from the jaws of death, AKA from Billy Bowie Grohl's mouth. That needs a wash. I don't even know how he got it. How did you get that? Oh, cheeky. Anyway. That's right, I was gonna salvage my eyebrows. So I'm just gonna go in with this, I don't even know what this is. I think it's from Mecca. It was a gift. It's quite a hard brush. Crikey. And that same MCO Beauty powder that I used through my T-zone. There you go. We tried something different and I don't love it. Okie dokie, I'm just gonna set those really intense eyebrows with my Benefit 24-hour brow setter gel. This lighting's great because it shows me I really need to pluck my eyebrows because it's been autumn here. It's been quite dark, and so I haven't had a lot of natural light, and so I kind of forget to pluck my eyebrows because they seem fine, you know. If I'm in dim lighting. Okay, we're rolling with that. All right, so let's get into the good stuff. Let's do some eyeshadow work. Now, as I said, I'm gonna use my Serenity palette. I'm gonna take the shade Awake, just a bit of a cornflower blue, kind of a cross between a blue and a purple, really. And just using a Refa number 15. So yeah, that is where I am at in my life currently, but it's not all doom and gloom. Actually, I have become obsessed with a TV show that I never would have thought I would become obsessed with. And it's only because I went to put something on, I didn't know what I wanted to watch, and then it was just the first thing that came up. And that is The Rookie. Have you watched it? It's got the guy in it from, is it Castle? Castle? Oh, I can't remember. But yeah, you'd know him if you saw him. And yeah, The Rookie. I can't stop watching it. I can't stop watching it. It's about a guy who's in his 40s and decides to be a rookie in the LAPD. And I'm just really digging it. Surprisingly. Maybe it's because I like the concept of someone who's not afraid to start again in their 40s. I think that's awesome. I'm thinking about, well, I'm hoping to study nursing next year, and I'm not young. Now, I'm gonna go in with this little Odin's eye brush that I'm obsessed with ever since it came with the mystery box. I can't stop using it. And I'm gonna take the shade, I'm gonna take this shade here. Forest. It's very dark. Very dark. Yeah, so The Rookie, I'm currently in season 2, midway through season 2. I also love when TV shows used to have like 20 episodes per season, and now they only have bloody 8 or thereabouts. I miss when they had more. I feel like you just get into something and it's bloody gone. And things often don't last more than 1 season, do they? So I'm excited to find something I like that has more than 1 season. All right, this palette is beautiful. The Serenity palette. If you haven't been here before, the only reason that I have this palette is because I set my alarm at 3 in the morning to buy the Muse palette when it was released, put it in my basket, and by the time I went to pay for it, it wasn't in my basket anymore, which is very frustrating. If it's in my basket, you can't bloody rip it out of my basket. It's not fair. You wouldn't do that in real life, would you? I hope not. But anyways, so I was like, oh, all right then, well, might as well buy the other palette because I already had the Royal Rose palette from Cosmic Brushes, which is a UK indie brand. And I honestly didn't think I was going to love this palette that much because I I don't actually wear a lot of blue eyeshadow in my regular life, but I love it. It's such a stunning palette and the quality is beautiful. I really like the Royal Rose palette too, but that's been, I believe, discontinued. This color is so gorgeous. So yeah, that's how I ended up with this baby and I couldn't be happier about it. It's bloody beautiful, mate. So yeah, I hope that on the next release I will finally be able to pick up the bloody Muse palette. It's just been so elusive to me for some reason. I have picked up the 2 new Odin's Eye releases as well. The, what is it? You know, the rock. What's wrong with my brain today? The like rocks and something, gems and something. Oh my God. Anyway, I got the new Odin's Eye palettes coming. So I will definitely be doing videos with those. And I'm excited, very excited. Because I love my Odin's Eye Hella palette and my Odin's Eye from the legendary Diversa, the Judy palette. I can't remember what it's called because I can't remember anything today. But it was beautiful. It's not available anymore, unfortunately. Now I want to dive into my TERRA Moons eyeshadows, and I think I want to use the Cosmos, which is that little stunner there, and I think maybe Space Baby. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to dip back into my Serenity palette, and I'm going to use this black. Just taking a smaller, flat brush, and I'm going to pop that kind of here-ish. Such a good black. It's really easy to work with. A lot of blacks aren't. Taking my Sigma Precision Firm blender, just blending out that corner where the 2 meet. And while we're here, taking this little Refa 03 pencil brush with that black on it as well, and working that down into the lower lash line. Sometimes looks form themselves while you're doing them, you know? Like you think you're gonna go one way and then something presents itself and you go the other way. And I guess that's kind of a metaphor for life, really. Wow, I'm so deep. Obviously very philosophical at the moment. Now let's get into those shimmers. Okay, for primer today I'm using my NYX glitter primer. So I hope that you're enjoying your spring if you are overseas, or summer actually, probably potentially by the time I post this video, or just shy of. I'm very jealous, and if you're in Australia with me, I'm sure you're freezing your butt off just like I am. It's been bloody wet and cold for autumn, so I can only imagine how winter's gonna pan out. Although cold here in South Australia is nowhere near as cold as it is for a lot of you in the Northern Hemisphere. Okay, dipping into the Cosmos, which is such a beautiful shade. I'll swatch it on my hand for you. Look at her. So shiny and so shifty. TERRA Moons eyeshadows are still just the most spectacular. You know, I feel like Adept Cosmetics has really shiny, beautiful eyeshadows, but they don't wear very well on my eyelid. Whereas the TERRA Moons ones wear a lot better. I think because the Adept ones have a very emollient consistency and they have shea butter in them. Don't quote me on that, but I think they do. And so just if you have oily eyelids, they just don't last. They break up and crease almost immediately. But they are stunning. So it just depends if you can deal with having creased lids where stuff wears off really quickly, or you can't. If you have dry eyelids, you'd be fine. Oh my gosh, look at that. Yes, please. But yeah, TERRA Moons eyeshadows are stunning. They're just stunning. It's been a while. It's been a minute, so I need to, yeah, purchase some new ones, I think. I was gonna use another color in there, but I'm gonna take that all the way. Because that way it really shows off the stunningness. Now this one is flaky. It's got a flaky texture, which I think is really cool. So pretty. I think I want maybe some purple on the lower lash. I'm gonna just take my Refa 14 and this gorgeous purple here, which is called Pixie. So what else is new in my life? I think I've pretty much got you up to date now. Things have been a little bit tight financially, so I haven't really been able to spend much money on makeup. And I am about to have my, like I've done my stomach injection for my migraine, but I'm about to go and have my first jaw Botox injection to see if that helps my migraines. And that is gonna cost me $680 something, which is over half of my fortnightly income. Because it's not covered really. So I think it's seen as like an aesthetic procedure because the word Botox is in it, whereas I'm not having it for aesthetic reasons. I'm having it to try and fix my migraine situation, but it is what it is. So we'll get there. In the meantime, it's good because it gives me the incentive to pull out some of my beautiful makeup that I already have in my collection and to create looks with it. And that can only be a positive thing. You know, we're very much focused on new. And the fact is, you know, you're probably gonna get more views on a video if you're doing new makeup, but who cares? It's good to put a stop, or at least a pause to that consumerism momentarily and enjoy what you already have. Right? Am I right? I think I would like a little pop of color right in the corner as well, which I'm going to take from my Serenity palette because it has this stunning opal-y shade in the corner here. Opal being the national stone of Australia. They're beautiful. And I'm going to wet my little Refa brush. And I just want that right in the corner. God, this palette's so spectacular. I just tied it up a little bit while I was off cam. Now I'm gonna dip back into my palette here. I wanna take this number, which is called Ether, and pop that under the eye. Oh my gosh, honestly, my TERRA Moons and my Serenity palette make the perfect companions. Gorgeous. And I kind of like how it's looking a little blown out here, a little, I don't know, almost like a little fairy grunge. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm doing fairy grunge. Yeah. All right, let's do eyeliner. Now I'm spoilt for choice when it comes to eyeliners because I have tons of Melt Cosmetics beautiful colorful gel liners, and I also have the beautiful Adept Cosmetics eyeliners. One of these could actually be quite, I shouldn't talk while I'm going through my makeup box. One of these could actually be stunning. I'm going to kick it off with my Melt gel liner, and as I can't find my metallic teal one, we're going to be using my metallic blue one, which is Steel, which is absolutely gorgeous. These are so good from Melt. Using my Sigma small angle brush. You know what trend I really don't get? This is so random. But I've been meaning to bring this up for ages. I don't get the blush right on your nose thing, especially a bright blush. I don't get it. If someone could explain to me what that's about, that would be great. But I also don't want to look like I'm sunburnt, or I don't want to look like I'm a crying girl, or I don't want to look like I've got frostbite. And I know these are all kind of trendy, but to me, it looks funny. You know, each to their own. And that's exactly the thing about this channel is you do you, babe. If you want to look like you're sunburnt, then go ahead, because really, who cares what anyone else thinks? Especially me. But it just isn't for me. God, these melt eyeliners just, every time I use them, they remind me how spectacular they are. They really are. Alrighty, now I'm gonna take my Adept The Collective Waterproof Liquid Liner in Biomimetic Gel and run that over here. Tell you what, I am bringing the multi-chrome today. Oh, I always forget, don't look up. These eyeliners need a bit to set. For my waterline, it's going to be one of 3 options. I literally can't decide, and so I'm going to just kind of shuffle them around in my hand. And we are going to use this one. This is a Sigma eyeliner. It's called My Cloud. This is kind of how I decide my life, because I can't make actual decisions, so. It's just a pretty blue color. Beautiful, okay. Let me get some mascara on and I'll pop back on cam after that. Okay, that is how it looks with mascara on. It's kind of magical. So pretty. All right, let's do cheeks and lips, and oh, I don't know, will it be my RMS Redimension Hydra Powder Blush in a Hanky Panky? Oh, stunning. Or my Bare Minerals Gen Nude Bronzer in Kiss of Rose. Also stunning. You know what? I think I'm gonna go with my Bare Minerals. And I'm just taking a Sigma, whatever this is, chiseled cheek brush. Oh, I haven't used this for so long, I forgot how pigmented it is. That is outrageous. I have to buff the bejesus out of that. Don't panic. All right, I'm just using my bronzer brush to get in there and buff that. That looks much more normal. The thing is, I'm really lazy, so I would rather try and fix things than take things off and do them again in basically anything I do in the makeup sphere. On myself, it doesn't matter, right? Okay, that's good. It's really pretty, actually. I think I can go out in public and people not scream and point at me now. That's good news. All right, now for my highlighter today, I'm going to be taking my Westman Atelier Lit Up highlight stick in Parla. Parla. I don't know why I feel the need to roll my R's there, because yeah, there's no actual logical explanation for it. Beautiful. I used to highlight my upper lip, and then I realized it just made me look sweaty. So I don't really do that anymore. It just made me look like I was really unfit and had a sweating issue. All right, just dusting random brush hairs off my face. And that's it, we are finished with that look. I'll zoom you out. Just had to change my camera battery. And also, when I said I was finished, I had no lips on. So this is my Maracuja Juicy Lipstick from Tarte, and the shade is Hibiscus. That's what I'm gonna chuck on my lips right now. I love every product from the Tarte Maracuja lip line. I've not met one yet that I don't like. And the lipsticks are no exception. I can't open my friggin', oh, there we go, mirror. Issues. Okay. beautiful. And that is actually it. So, the finished product, my friends, is it perfect? No. Do I like it? Yes. Nobody really ever looks perfect when they are out in the world unless they have someone 24/7 standing next to them, blotting their face and fixing whatever's smudging on their faces. So I'm very happy with how that has turned out. Thank you so much for being with me for this Get Ready With Me and allowing me to, I guess, unload and talk about what's going on in my life. I feel confident and safe doing that because you guys are so kind and beautiful and just exceptional humans. So thank you so much for being here. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would love for you to do that. I'd love to see you again. And if you could give this a thumbs up before you go, that would mean a lot to me as well. Your comments, as always, are welcome. And yeah, thanks for being here. I'll see you again very soon. Potentially the next video will be in Odin's eye. It depends how long the palettes take to get to me, but we'll see. All right, take care. I'll see you back here once again at the Dally Diaries very soon. Ciao. Hey, Kristel here from the Dally Diaries. Billy, down. You are trouble. Don't look at me all cute.